Good afternoon, and welcome to the Ripley's Folly Community Garden and Massage Parlor for the freshest episode of the Sunday Antisocial Hour. That time each week when I smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while answering all of its questions. This is going to be a very special Sunday Antisocial Hour because it's actually happening on Sunday. And I did one last week. I'm not even behind. And I get to smoke my pipe. I haven't smoked my pipe in a long time. So today I am smoking, because it's a special occasion, I am smoking my Friday Savinelli from Old Greg. And in it, I don't have the tin anymore. I threw it away. I'm smoking Westminster. And you know what? I've kind of come to the conclusion that this tobacco and I are never really going to get along. Like, we had a good run. I've smoked several tins of it, and I always keep buying it because it just sounds so cool. But I think there are better heavy Latakia blends out there. Now, we have a lot to get through today. Some of you actually asked some questions, but there's also a lot of big announcements. And as big as they are, all the announcements that I'm going to make right now are going to lead up to a really big announcement next week. If it doesn't happen next week, I'm screwed. So it's definitely going to happen by next week. And it's all very germane and relevant to what we've been doing here on the channel for the last 4 years. Anyway, let's get to it. As a practical matter, to make my life easier, I told you last week that I was overwhelmed with work after most of the year passes without any work. I got some work. Actually, I had some work planned, and I was not counting on it because of COVID, and so these weddings that I shot, they came through, and now I have like 5,000 photos to edit. And coincidentally, I got some more work. I got another huge project on top of that at the same time. No problem. Everything is totally under control. I am definitely not nervous about any of this. That is the life of a freelancer, and I've been doing it for, oh my God, I've been doing it 7 years now. Having said all that, you'd think I'd be used to it. You would think I'd be used to it, but you never really get used to feast and famine. I am going to rename the Sunday Antisocial just the Antisocial. Big announcement, number one, the Sunday Antisocial is now just going to be the whenever it happens Antisocial. And that way I don't kick my own ass for not getting a video out at a certain point every week. And I got 4 questions this week. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you for not asking questions because this hasn't been very fun the last few weeks. I've been in a bad mood. Everybody's in a bad mood. Ruth Bader Ginsburg died and doomed us all to the worst election ever. Top of 200,000 people being dead from the coronavirus and the entire country burning down because of our racial inequity. So everybody's pissed. Nobody want. And then I came on and said, I don't want to talk about politics anymore. What are we going to talk about? There's nothing left to talk about. For the short term, foreseeable future, we're just going to have antisocials every once in a while. The every once in a while antisocial, a little more frequently than that. But I would like to do it every week. It's a fun part of my week, but the next 3 to 4 weeks for me are going to be insane. And so we're just making a new rule. Channel, I can do whatever I want. Second, I'm going through changes. Since I started the Pinhole Project a year and a half ago, I have sort of rediscovered a role that I hadn't played for 15 years, and that is the role of the photographic artist. And that is where that's where I want to go from here. Because let's be honest, weddings aren't coming back. They're not coming back. We're not going to get a vaccine, y'all. I mean, we might get a vaccine, but it's going to be 2-3 years in the future. Big events are going to be dangerous as hell for a long time. And I am tired of fighting it. I'm tired of scrambling and trying to find 1 or 2 tiny weddings here that then just get here and there that just get turned into elopements. I don't want to travel anymore. I don't want to do things that are going to put me and my family at risk, as I mentioned last week. And so the ways that I have left to make income, the legal ways that I have left to make income, my get rich quick scheme is selling pinhole photography. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. That's where I'm going to focus my efforts. And other more or less artistic methods. I want to make videos about all of this, but I'm going to be shooting some portraits. I'm going to be shooting some high-end portraits, and I would love to start making videos and act like I know what I'm doing. But the fact is that I've never done that before. I mean, no, I've shot plenty of high-end portraits, but not in the way that I want to proceed with it and the way that I want to market it. And so I think that this channel, you know, it's already got plenty of photography content on it. I guess what I'm trying to say is I got to make some money. So you can expect more photography videos coming up, and the secret project, which will be revealed by next week, is in that vein. And it's going to be revealed first to the folks on my mailing list. Did you guys even know that I have a mailing list? No, because I've never told you. I have a mailing list, and I'm going to put a link in the description below. You should get on my email mailing list. I don't send out a lot of emails. It's not spammy. It's just me kind of telling you. This is something I started doing when I stopped blogging. No one reads blogs anymore, right? So I decided I'd rather just tell the people that actually want to hear about my life. I'd just tell them what's going on in my life, and that's where the mailing list is. And I have promised them that they will know very first, because these are the people that are close, you know. And this is like family on this mailing list, stuff like that, because most of my family's too old to check social media. And so anyway, get on the mailing list if you want to hear about it first thing. And then the second announcement will happen here basically right after I send that email. So, link down below. Now to your questions. Al Molitor asked Gribbs. I love the name. I just Molitor. It's like out of He-Man. All right. Do you wear a mask when working a wedding? Yes, I do. Except when going from an air-conditioned building to a hot, humid outdoor environment, a mask is guaranteed to make my glasses fog up. And so I don't, if I'm going outside, I usually take the mask off, which it's not very safe, but I can't do my job. I literally can't see. And I thought about getting contacts, because I had contacts back in the day and enjoyed them. But the other thing about contacts is that they are not, this is the reason the military doesn't issue contacts, they issue their birth control glasses. They're not reliable. And if you get something in your eye, you're screwed. And when you're shooting someone's wedding and you're outdoors, and there's bugs flying through the air and there's people throwing birdseed or sparklers or whatever, glasses are more reliable. And I can keep an extra pair in my camera case and all that. So I don't, again, it's just another thing I learned after shooting those couple of weddings a couple of weekends ago is I'm just going to go ahead and admit I don't like this pandemic. There, I finally said it. I know, controversial opinion. All right, speaking of that, Typing Piper, did I just lose the window that I was using? I did. I just had a window, Grib answers. There we go. Typing Piper asked a controversial question. Ask Gribbs, since Trump has been nominated twice in 1 week for the Nobel Peace Prize for doing something, is that pulling the Trump card on Obama for winning the Nobel Peace Prize after doing nothing? Even if it is, Obama's administration could at least spell Nobel Peace Prize. Blake, 1827, asked Gribbs, is Oktoberfest in Munich the ultimate destination in beer tourism? No, sir. No. The ultimate destination in beer tourism is Asheville, North Carolina. And while you're here, have you thought about having some high-end portraits done? I hate beer. I'm so tired of beer. Why would people travel across the world to drink beer? I don't get that. If that's your thing, I'm glad you're happy. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy. I just don't understand. And my entire town's economy is based on beer, and it's really damn annoying when you're like, okay, so there was supposed to be like this giant riot last night, and I get online to look at the news from the giant riot. Like, can I go downtown? Is it a war zone? Did anyone get shot? And it's like, oh, here's what's on tap at the local brewery. Up about I love tobacco. I love whiskey. I love coffee. I even like reading about all these things online on tobacco, whiskey, and coffee fora. Not my like local newspaper. Who cares? I was shooting photos for the Alternative Weekly. It was almost a daily thing that I shot a picture of a pint of beer. It's just like you show up at the brewery. Hey, we've got our new extra pale India hoppy road tar in a glass on sale this week, and your newspaper is covering it. So here is the shot. And I was just like, okay, put it on the bar. Okay, stand behind it. Okay, all right, good, cool. See you later. Like every day there was beer. It's just, God, I hate it. Anyway, wait, that was the wrong question. Didn't mean to delete that one, to mark that one answered. Of course, I would never delete your questions. They're very near to my heart. I keep them all archived, and every now and then I print them out on parchment and just read through them. Hermit Piper asks Gribbs, how can I recapture my passion for photography when I've lost my mojo? Any suggestions? Well, no, I have no suggestions as someone who has never once lost my mojo. So, it's important to remember that photography for most people is a hobby. It's an interest. It's an amateur passion. And it's okay to lose your mojo. It's okay to lose interest in it every once in a while. We can't all sustain an obsessive, compulsive interest in everything that we enjoy all the time. I mean, most people can. I, of course, can because I have OCD, so I can totally pull that off. Those of us that have many interests, and let's be honest here, most pipe smokers are the sort that have many interests. It's okay to sort of rotate between those interests. And, you know, one week I'm playing guitar, one week I'm playing Minecraft, one week I'm obsessively reading about whatever tobacco I'm interested in, although that doesn't happen much because I can't afford to buy it. So, but the constant for me in my life has been photography, but that's easy because it's always been my job. So I kind of have to have the mojo. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Even within that sphere, I lose interest in certain things. Like right now, I'm over weddings. I'm super over it. I'm excited about the ones that I still have booked because I know these people, and we're talking about people that booked me 18 months, 2 years ago. And we have a relationship where I'm super excited about their wedding. But in terms of weddings in general, it's really hard right now. And that's why my interest is sort of gravitated toward the stuff that you guys see me doing, which I was fine with that just being my personal work for a while. And now circumstances have sort of pulled it to the forefront. I have made more money selling prints of my grainy, blurry, black and white pinhole images this year than I have shooting weddings. So you got to do what works. Now, if you are an amateur photographer and you just kind of have lost it, the thing to do is pick up photography in an entirely different way than what you've been doing. So if you've been walking around with a digital camera taking pictures on the street, go buy a large format film camera. Learn a whole new discipline within photography. Go shoot landscapes. If you've been shooting landscapes, shoot portraits. If there are a million different ways to be a photographer, and I find that when one way starts to feel not that good anymore, the other ways are waiting for you. I don't know what kind of photography you do, but let's talk about some really niche macro macro photography, which basically means you're taking pictures of bugs. So then you got to learn about bugs, and that's interesting. Astrophotography, which means you got to learn about the rotation of the Earth, and you got to have one of those things that lines your camera up with it. You see that I don't know anything about that either. So there are little like hollows in the monolith that is photography, and they're all worth investigating. I will say that I will be going large format from here. I'm pretty sure. If I can find a good excuse to buy a large format camera. And I'm really good at finding excuses for everything. But if I can find a good excuse to buy a large format camera and make a little bit of money with it, I will be doing that. Because I'm really interested in some of the images that I see being produced by guys using 4x5s and 8x10s. And that is something remarkably different from small format, especially digital. And digital and 35 millimeter are basically the same thing, just one's grainier and more expensive. And so I think that if you're currently a digital photographer, I would say look at medium format film. You can get a medium format rig pretty cheap. Look what I did. I got one for $150. You can get a large format rig pretty cheap, and it's still photography, but it's almost not even in the same world. Or go the other way and look at cyanotypes, which I hate. I've never enjoyed cyanotypes. Anything that can kill you, and cyanotypes can kill you, right? Like if you were to eat a cyanotype, it would kill you. Can I eat a cyanotype? Cyanide molecule groups are bound to the iron atom and are not free to act as a poison. These cyanide groups can be released as hydrogen cyanide gas if the potassium ferrocyanide is placed in a strong acid solution. However, strong acid is not a part of the cyanide. So you can totally eat cyanotypes. I was wrong. According to this, no one has ever died in 170 years of making cyanotypes. So entirely safe, because I'm pretty sure all the other processes definitely have a positive body count. This is the kind of stuff you come to me to learn. Thank you so much for watching this week, and it's all going to be happening soon. Things are going to take off, or they won't. And next video will just be me crying. Have a good day. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.